Man, oh man, if I had a nickel for every time there was release of a dark alternate history war game with incredible art, models that can be custom made, and a playstyle that's really unique, I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's crazy that it happened twice. I really like grim, dark war games, and Magna Gothica and Trench Crusade are both so cool. But today's video is going to lean more towards Trench Crusade. Really love Trench Crusade. So when trying to think of a Trench Crusade model, I found and picked up this Start Collecting magazine. Conveniently enough, also a $20 purchase from my local game store. So we're 1 for 1 with the current price of every model I've made. When opening it up, I really wanted the Stormcast model for this specific conversion in Kit Bash, but man, can I just say, the Goblin one in there is so cool. If you guys have any suggestions of what might be a cool Kit Bash for that model, comment down below what you think I should do with it, and I'll kind of look through them and I'll pick out kind of one that I think I could do the best with. But after freeing my little Stormcast guy from his plastic prison, I removed the little backup blade. I've never really liked it on any of the Stormcast models, and I didn't think it would really fit for the conversion I'm making right now. Speaking of the conversion I'm making, let me tell you what I've decided to make. In Trench Crusade, there is a model called the Observer. Now, the Observer wears a sensory deprivation tank helmet thingy, because they are constantly hearing the word and voice of God. But because God is, God, they hear past, present, and future constantly. So they need to focus in order to not lose themselves in the words of holiness. And I think it's pretty cool, honestly. Oh, it's so cool. Trench Crusade has a lot of stuff like that, where the lore of the miniature is just so well put together. After assembling the body, I was kind of looking at the arm, didn't like it, so I wanted to kind of go with more of a techie look for the arms. Now, Trench Crusade kind of has this weird grimdark mixture of modern technology, kind of futuristic technology, and medieval tech. So originally I found some 40k arms, except I didn't find some. I found a singular arm, did not check for a left arm, and just started hacking away. Now, luckily, my idea was to cut at the elbow of the 40k Space Marine arm, then cut at the elbow of the Stormcast arm to kind of get a mix of like a tech shoulder and this kind of medieval wrist plate. This left enough room for when I realized I didn't have the right bits to grab my 30k bits, chop the spear arm from the hand, and attach it to the arm instead. And it looks really good. The connection was really clean. I'm really happy that I didn't just stick with the 40k arm, because it would not have looked good with this tiny dinky arm and his really big spear arm. But before I even got to that, I ended up attaching the head. Now, trying to get this helmet down would have been really rough with green stuff. That was my original idea, and I'm glad I didn't go with it. Instead, I found these, I want to say they're like spy droids from this Darth Maul kit I had laying around. They're not exactly the same shape, but I think they're pretty close. They had this really big ocular lens. It was kind of really neat texturing on them, so I cut one out, had to cut like a tiny sensor off of it, and that was really it. And that's the head. The head was super easy. I was gonna green stuff kind of a neck, but it sat so well in the kind of little hole that the model has, and the shoulders kind of covered it perfectly, so I didn't have to do any green stuff work. I just kind of glued it on and just stuck it there, and it held really well, and I was really surprised. So that's really all that I did for the head. Now, I am a little sorry about the change of color. I had the light on. I was doing other stuff, and I forgot to turn it off. But if you guys like the orange and the blue kind of lighting, I can start doing that. It's just, I don't want to cast too many shadows on my models and stuff, so I didn't leave it. But back to the kit bashing. Sorry, I had to bring that up. So you can see there's a lot of bits laying around this table, and I actually considered a few times changing the arms from Space Marine arms to AdMech arms. Didn't end up going with it, but that AdMech backpack that's sitting down there will get used pretty soon. After attaching the right arm, like I said, like I had to fix, and the left arm, I was really considering what kind of position I wanted, and I ended up having to cut another arm out because I didn't like the angle it was at. But once I did, I decided to add this little grenade hand to it, and a small narrative started coming into my head of how I want this model to look. The idea that this model is able to see briefly into the future, I really like the idea that they have a bunch of different magazines and types of ammunition on them in case that the future deems that they need that to pick up a pistol or use a rifle or help this other soldier out. So he gets a lot of little greeblies. I take these World War II ammunition packs, I guess you would call them, and slap them on his thighs. Then I take this Necromunda gas mask and put it on the back over top of that little knife area. Using the sprue goo, it really makes it look like a solid attachment, like it's just on his belt, which I was really happy about. I was really worried about that belt part for a minute. Then I cut off the sensor and some of the cords for that AdMech backpack and slapped it on. Off camera, I also found this little cape for a smaller model, but it makes a really nice shoulder cape, and I felt that broke up the design a little bit more, made it a little bit more noticeable. When it came to painting, I was really scared. I didn't want to do dry brushing, but I also don't know anything but dry brushing. After talking with a new friend of mine I met on Instagram, their name is Zeke Frazier. Their Instagram will be in the description because, man, do their models look fantastic. I got a little bit of advice from them about edge highlighting, but I kind of took it as just a painting helpful guide, I guess. So with the black primer, I decided to go with like this Stonewall gray, and I filled in a lot of the areas that I wanted to kind of pop. Now, a lot of the model is gonna turn out gray. However, I did it thin enough to where it wasn't like a gray wash, but thick enough to where it kind of held its color. So there's kind of little black dots that kind of show up through in between the painting, because I wanted to kind of go with an old rusty look without having to do a bunch of work for it. After that, I did white highlights, which I don't have any footage of for some reason. I did white highlights in places that I kind of wanted to be a bit more noticeable. I did not go with the idea of like there's a light source or anything like that, so it's not very professionally done, but I wanted some pieces to be brighter than others to kind of make it a little bit poppier. Took the red speed paint that I used for Stieg, and I have this purple one that's really nice too, and I use that for the main body. After going through that, I realized this really is just kind of a test model for me for different painting styles, so I left the weapons and like other kind of add-ons black because I wanted to see what I could do with it. Now the spear handle, I just took a brown paint that I thinned a little bit and just kind of brushed it on. It looks fantastic. I really liked it. I think I could have gone with a lighter brown though to give a bit more pop to it, because I guess grimdark, right? But I feel like it needed a little bit more color on his right side of the model. Now I would show you more of me actually painting this model and getting all of that detail in that I'm telling you about, but I was so worried about this coming out horribly that I kept bringing it really close to my face, so he kept coming off camera, and it's really embarrassing because I thought I had him in frame, but I was also so worried the model was going to come out horrible. The spear tip I did with like a gunmetal wash, didn't come out very well. Did a different metal material on it. Decided to use that gunmetal like speed paint on the head where I had that white patch. Looks really nice. I really wish I did that with the spear tip, but you know, again, I'm still learning this painting thing. Did the same thing pretty much to the backpacks with just random colors. I was pretty late into the night working on this. You can definitely tell it's not as good as the rest of the work of the rest of the model, but it still looks pretty good, so we take what we can get. And then here is the final product. Now, I didn't want to bring this up in the beginning, but for some reason, this is giving Zaku vibes for me, but I don't remember there ever being a purple Zaku, so I might just be tripping out on that. But yeah, this is my Observer. I hope you like him. He was a really fun project, and honestly, this is probably how I'm going to start painting for a little bit until I learn better and more painting skills. He just came out so good, and I can't stop looking at him. I keep fiddling with him on my desk, and I really want to get him on a tabletop at some point. So look forward to some more New Antioch units coming out on my channel, because oh man, do I really want to play some Trench Crusade. Final thing, just before this video ends, I wanted to say thank you to all of the love and support I've been receiving on YouTube, not to mention on Instagram too. We went from like 40 followers to, I think as of recording this, we're at 160 something, which is mind-boggling. This is the first video after like the huge blow up, and I really hope I can keep this growth going, because I really do want to build a little village with everybody, make a really nice community where we're all commoners, we're all having fun, we have common little hobbies together. And so yeah, if you want to be a part of that, subscribe and leave a comment on what you think I should do next, especially for a New Antioch army. Any suggestions on kit bashes would be really helpful, because I'm still kind of new into kit bashing things that aren't just abominations of creation. So thank you again for watching.